Today, we're working into the strength stability of the hips. And as we work with the hips, it helps us create a little bit of muscular contraction in the outer glutes. Now, if you think about life outside of our normal society, right, we live in places that have flat, level pavement, flat level floors. When you walk on the sidewalk, there's a couple little nooks here and there, but for the most part, it's all flat. When you get out into nature, there's bumps, there's rocks, there's roots, there's hills, there's all kinds of hard edges. And so that's really a part of nature. And as our bodies come from nature, we were made to adapt to kind of go around the terrain, almost like those ibex that are climbing on the mountains, right? And so as we get more accustomed to flat level ground, it decreases our need, the necessity for our body to find stability. And so if you take somebody who probably lives out in the woods, out in nature, who climbs mountains all the time, their stability is so solid because all these tiny muscles in the hips are constantly firing, protecting them from falling over as they go down hills. For us, if we get onto a piece of pavement and it's just a little bit off, there's that feeling that we're going to fall and we lose our stability. When we come to standing on one leg, there's that feeling that we don't have the stability. And so we have to retrain, engage those stabilizer muscles. Yoga is so beneficial in that it allows us to challenge those stabilizers and feel way more connected to ourselves. So let's find out, where are those muscles and how can we engage them? We're looking primarily at the muscles of the outer glutes and on the inner groins. Bring your legs into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Left knee comes to center, left ankle towards the outside of the right hip, right foot crosses over. For this variation today, it's okay if your right buttock lifts. This feeling of, or this position of having the thigh close to your chest will allow you to put a little stretch into the outer right glute. So take your left arm. If you're tight in the hips, you can just take your hands and pull on the outside of the right leg. If you have a little bit more flexibility, wrap your entire forearm around the outside of the right thigh. Then bring your palms together, hook your thumbs. Pull. Pull with your left bicep. Also lean back a little. So you use your back muscles. This will help to open the chest. Oppose that. Push your leg into your forearm, and you'll start to feel that right glute begin to engage. As you feel the glute engage, use a little oscillation in your left arm strength. Let the leg go away from you, bring it back towards you. Away from you, back towards you. So you really start to feel, as you vary the position of the thigh, you're changing the space in the outer hip. And as you push your thigh into your arm, you're engaging blood flow and contraction into what's called the glute med. And that's a big stabilizing muscle that we're working on today. Okay, slowly unwind the legs. If you need to tap out the knees, go for it. And then other side, left ankle crosses over the top of the right knee. This time the right arm wraps around or hands on the outside of the thigh. Palms together, hook the thumbs. Most important is that you can bring the chest a little closer to your, the thigh a little closer to your chest and feel the stretch first in the outer hip. Then engage that stretch by pushing your thigh in opposition to the arm. As you press your leg into your arm, feel the left glute engage, and then oscillate between letting the thigh go out and pulling it in, out and in. Now breathe. So important. What we do with the muscles is contract. What we do with the breath, as the breath goes all the way full, it's going to spike your blood pressure. And so any place that you're contracting gets a little bit extra juice in it. And so that's why sometimes things can get so intensely tight at the top of the inhalation, but sure as they do, they also soften through the exhalation. All right, slowly let your left leg go. Tap out the backs of the knees. And let's come all the way to standing. So you'll hear me say this a lot today, to drag the heels away from each other. As you drag the heels away from each other, try that. Feel the four corners of the foot, of each foot. Pull your feet away from each other, and you're going to feel these muscles on the outer glutes engage. Especially in the beginning of this practice when we're standing on 2 feet, this is our chance to feel those outer hips in a very stable position. The other thing you'll hear me say is to roll your inner thighs back. Put a little bend in your knees. If it helps, take your hands, grab your thighs. Imagine if your thumbs are on the inside, you grab the outsides of the thighs and you're rolling the thumbs in between the legs and back. Okay, so you use the hands a little, but try to figure out what's that action in the actual inner groins. So the heels pull apart from each other and the inner thighs roll back. We need both, and here's why. Separate your feet hip distance. If all I do is roll my inner thighs, look what happens to my knees. All of a sudden, I create knock knee position where the knees are collapsing towards the second toes. As I pull either the heels or the pinky blades away from each other, all of a sudden the outer shins, the outer legs engage, and the knees rewrite themselves to center. So, to summarize it, we need the knees in line with the middle toes, and we're looking to feel how can we engage inner groin and outer glute. It's just enough. If you go too much, you'll be sitting here burning out just standing. You want to find just a little awakening in the inner groins and the outer hips so that your pelvis feels really stable. Let's explore why that's so important. Inhale, take your arms, reach up. First, just relax the legs. Forget I said anything. Okay, hook your thumbs up above your head. Now reach up and over to the right. As you reach to the right, notice what you feel into the ground. Notice what you feel into the spine. Come back to center. Now this time, roll your inner thighs slightly back. Pull the feet away from each other so your knees line up with the middle toes. Feel the four corners of the feet. Now inhale, pull up and over to the right. Notice that light engagement, if you can keep the inner groins and the outer glutes engaged, it's creating stability in the pelvis. From your stable pelvis, you now have the foundation to lift and lengthen your spine. And from your long spine, you should feel really good into your side bend. Let's come back to center. Relax the legs. Let's check the other side. Inhale, go up and over to the left. Keep the legs relaxed. Notice what's that feeling. Come back to center. Roll your inner thighs back. Pull the edges of the feet apart just a little. If it's burning you out, it's too much. Just enough to feel those outer hips, inner groins engage. Once your pelvis feels stable, inhale, pull up and over to the left. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice the feeling of the ground underneath you gets more intense, more clear as you find the engagement in the hips. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, point your elbow tips forward. As you point your elbow tips forward, move your shoulder blades apart. Press your head into your hands, relax the legs, inhale, back bend, start to lift the upper body back. So first, just checking with the relaxed legs in your back bend, and then come back to center. Let's find the difference. Roll your inner thighs back, pull the outside edges of the feet apart, feel inner groins, outer hips engage. Brace your core, inhale, back bend. Adding on one last little thing, press into your heels to engage your glutes. As the heels press down, the tailbone will move under. Now you can lift the upper body back. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Notice that difference. Let's do a back bend one more time, little change. Inhale. Exhale, imagine you're grabbing a pull-up bar, pull down. Feel your back body engage, brace your core. Inhale, back bend, start to lift the upper body back. Focus on the stability of the pelvis. Feet pull apart as inner thighs roll back. Press the heels and lift back. Inhale up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, hands through the prayer. Bend your knees, tilt your hips, and bow. Walk your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, crouch round and curl. Hands and arms go on either side of the thighs. Go up onto your fingertips. Now lift those heels high and sink your hips low. The hands don't move, but energetically squeeze your arms into your legs. Now push your legs into your arms and you should feel those outer glutes engage. Breathe slow in. Stay for the exhale. Let's go breath to movement. Heels down. Inhale, rise. Mountain pose. Exhale, hook your thumbs. Stabilize inner thighs, outer feet. Inhale up and over to the right, going as far as the breath is deep. Exhale to center. Stabilize the hips. Inhale up and over to the left. Exhale back to center. Grab the bar, pull down. Stabilize the legs. Inhale, back bend. A moment to play with the angle of the pelvis, to play with the feet and how they're connecting to the ground. Inhale up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, crouch round and curl. One breath, arms squeeze in, inhale. Legs push open, exhale. Heels down, inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale, hook your thumbs, stabilize your feet, stabilize your pelvis. Inhale to the right. Hold, 3 breaths. Slow through the inhale, slow through the exhale. Use your mantra if you haven't started already. A single word you repeat in your mind. We breathe consciously, we activate the physical body consciously, and control the thoughts consciously. Exhale back to center. Inhale up and over to the left. Stabilize inner thighs, roll back, feet pull apart. Feel the pelvis being your strong foundation. Lift the spine from that foundation, then reach up and over to the left. Go as far as your breath moves full to empty. Make it strong yet gentle. With the mantra, fully in, empty out. Come back to center. This time, palms together. Interlace your fingers. Release the index fingers for steeple grip. Pull up. Line your arms with your ears. Bend your knees a little. Feet pull apart as the inner thighs roll back. Contract your glutes. Inhale, steeple back bend. Keep your core nice and tight, preventing compression in the lower spine. Draw front ribs and hip points to navel, then send the arms back. Breathe. Inhale, slowly rise. With steeple grip, exhale, steeple forward fold. Bend your knees, pull your fingertips forward away from your hips as you tilt the hips and bow down to the mat. At the bottom, scoop up your heels, all 10 fingers underneath the backs of the ankles, or just grab anywhere on the back sides of the legs. Bend your knees generously until your chest touches your thighs, then drop your head towards your big toes. From here, roll the inner thighs slightly back. With the power of the feet, pull away from each other. Feel those outer glutes engage. Now oscillate between inner thighs and outer hips. Use this oscillation to wiggle the pelvis into a forward tilt, and then wiggle your rib cage down. Now pull your shoulders from your ears. Full body inhale. Stay for the exhale. Full. Empty. Release your heels. Steeple grip up in front of the toes. Inhale, pull your way up to standing. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Separate your feet hip distance. Reach your arms forward, palms face down. Check to see you start off with your knees pointing in line with the middle toes. The big toes turn slightly in. Now, breathe in. Start slow. Begin to bend your knees. As you bend your knees, roll the inner thighs back, then pull your feet away from each other. Use the outer glutes and the inner groins so that it's not just quadricep and rear glute firing up. The more muscles you can recruit simultaneously, the less they can all work together, and the more that actually gets accomplished. Inhale, slowly rise. Lift your heels. Get up onto the ball mounds of the feet. Balancing pressure from big to pinky toe. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees. This one gets a little tricky. Hug the inner thighs into your pelvis, and then feel the balance of pressure from big to pinky toe. Situate the spine nice and tall. Control breath. Inhale, slowly rise. Exhale, lower your heels. This one, turn your feet a little bit more inward so that when you bring your knees and thighs together, your knees still line up with those middle toes. Lift your heels an inch, inch and a half to start. They can lift higher or lower as you go. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees, start to sit. As you start to sit, pull the thigh bones in, lift your spine tall. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Slow full, slow empty. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release your arms, release your feet. Inhale, tee out your arms in line with your shoulders. Exhale, eagle wrap, right arm underneath left arm. Bend into your knees. Lift up onto your right big toe. Immediately take your awareness down to the skin of the left foot. Hug your outer left hip in. As we get into standing on one leg, you'll hear me say this a lot. Take your standing hip, pull it in. You want to get that engagement on the outer glute so the knee lines up with the middle toes. Here we go. As you hug the outer left hip in, push into your left big toe. There's your inner groin. Loop your right thigh over your left thigh. Squeeze your thighs together. As you squeeze the thighs, there's both the inner groins. As you find the balance into your outer heels, or into your outer heel, there's your outer glute. Hug your outer left hip into your right. Hug your outer right hip into your left. Inhale, straighten your left leg, lift up your right knee. Exhale, eagle armed airplane pose. Kick your right leg down. As you straighten the right leg, lift your right leg up to counter lever the pelvis and spine forward. Hug your outer left hip back and in to help close your right hip towards the mat. Unwind your arms, palms together, steeple grip. Reach forward, standing stick. Shift your weight around until you can find the balance from big toe to pinky toe to both sides of the ankle bone. Then roll that outer left hip back, close the right hip down, and reach from fingers to toes. Inhale, rise all the way up. Immediately exhale, eagle wrap, left arm underneath the right. Bend your knees. Lift up onto your left big toe. Take a moment. Hug your outer right hip in. Push your right big toe down. The big toe pressure will engage the inner groin. The outer hip hugging in will engage the outer hip. If you feel stable, loop your left thigh over your right thigh. Play for a moment. Squeeze the thighs. Move the hips side to side. Breathe in. Sit low into the legs. Inhale, straighten your right knee, lift up your left knee. Kick your left leg down. Now lock your body from head to left heel. Lever up your left leg, tilt your pelvis. As you tilt, let the hips roll open a little. As you arrive at parallel, roll your right hip back, close your left hip down. Check in with the balance into the four corners of the right foot. Push down into that right big toe mount. Unwind your arms, palms together, steeple grip. Reach forward, standing stick. Now feel the ground. Feel the four corners. Then feel your outer hips. Right hip hugs to the left. Left hip hugs to the right. From the stability of the pelvis, you lengthen the spine. From the long spine, you breathe deep and reach from fingertips to toes. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Take a moment. Feel the breath in. Feel the breath out. Inhale, slowly lift your right knee in line with your right hip. As you lift the knee, careful the right hip doesn't hike up. Can you level your pelvis and notice as you lift the leg, is your weight shifting? Is the pelvis shifting towards the left foot? If it is, hug that left hip in. Try to center the weight on the skin of the left foot. From there, breathe in. Layer one, stay. 2, round your spine. Lift up and over. Feel the ground. Feel the standing foot. 3, lift your spine tall. Then extend your right leg forward and up. Prioritize a long spine. Pull your shoulders back and down. The right leg straightening is extra. Breathe in. Exhale, round and curl. Elbows around the right calf. Stabilize your breath. Stabilize the thought in your mind. Stabilize the feeling of the ground and the left hip hugging in. Inhale, slowly rise, starting position. Pin your right elbow to your right side waist, then reach back behind, grab the inside arch. Float the left arm high. Inhale, standing bow. Tilt your pelvis forward. As your pelvis tilts forward, allow the hips to open slightly. If they go too much, you're going to start feeling a pinch in the right side of the lower back. So roll the left hip back, close the right hip down. Put pressure down from left big to pinky toe. Then breathe. Inhale, rise. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. Lift up your left knee. Shake out your ankle if it got a little tense. Level the left hip down. Hug your right hip in. Feel the ground underneath the skin of the right foot. Breathe in. Stay lifted, layer one, or exhale, lift the spine, round up and over, grab a hold of the left foot. Maybe you wiggle the hips and explore what's balance feel like here. How are the hips engaged or relaxed? Lift your spine, layer three. Extend your left leg forward and up. Pull your shoulders back, your shoulder blades down, straighten your standing leg. Slowly stay and breathe or round and curl. Grab a hold of the heel. Lift your ribs forward over the left thigh. Soften from your right big to pinky toe. Hug the outer hips in. Engage your stability. Stabilize your mind with your mantra and stabilize the quality of your energy through your breath. Inhale, rise, starting position. Right arm goes up. Left knee slides back. Grab the inside arch of your foot. Take a moment. Feel the right foot. Feel the breath. Start to tilt your pelvis. As the pelvis tilts, allow the hips to roll open. As you arrive closer to parallel, roll your right hip back. Now reach to the fingers and kick through your leg. Inhale, slowly rise. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. We do standing bow, one time each side. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right elbow, right side waist. Bend your right knee, grab the inside arch. When you're ready, begin standing bow. Tilt from the hips. Feel that left hip. Hug the left hip, back it in. Feel your breath. Slowly rise. Other side, left elbow, left side waist. Bend your left knee. Grab the inside arch. When you're ready, feel the right foot, begin. Take your time. Notice the moment you start to lose balance. The more sensitive you can be to the skin of the right foot, the more centered you'll become. Slowly rise, feet together, arms to the sky, big breath in. Exhale, pull your arms down, brace your core. Inhale, back bend. Stay for the exhale, manipulate the feet pulling apart and the inner thighs rolling back. Inhale, up mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank pose. Hands step down, feet step back. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, pedal out your legs. So it's here too. Look at your knees relative to your toes. First, align the feet. Turn the toes in or out until your knees point in line with your middle toes. Then bending your knees, roll your inner thighs back. This will help to lift the thigh bones into the pelvis, tilting your pelvis forward. Now, if you roll too much, the knees will knock in and the toes will point in. So to counterbalance it, pull the ball mounds of your feet away from each other. Hug your outer shins back. Inner thighs roll back. Ball mounds pull apart. Outer shins hug back. Feel the stability in the pelvis. Inhale deep. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step through low lunge. Pin your back heel down. Use that back heel. Push it into the mat, already getting the outer glute to engage. Press with your back heel to help pull your body up into warrior two. Now oscillate. Go between squeezing the feet towards each other and pulling the feet apart. That oscillation is going to give you the engagement of either the inner groin or the outer glutes. See which one's which. Breathe fully in. Exhale, extended side angle. Take your right arm on the outside of your right leg. Push your arm into your leg. Careful that the knee never goes out of alignment with the middle toes. The arm pushes in, the leg press out in opposition so you feel that right glute engaged. Can you keep hugging the right hip under, breath in. Stay for the exhale. Now, release the right arm. Can you keep the glute that engaged? Inhale, reverse warrior. As you rise, left hand pushes on the back of the right hand. Notice that your right glute give out. That means your right knee just knocked in. Hug the hip back in. Push into the outer heel. Line up the knee with the middle toes. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse. Bend your knees. Get your sway going side to side. We get into a really low horse squat, almost like it's a horse frog. So elbows on top of the thighs, press the elbows down, push the thighs up, feel those thighs pull back. From here, forearms or elbows press against the inner thighs like you're pushing the legs open. As you press your legs open, rearrange the feet so they're pointing in line with your middle toes, and oppose this. The arms create the resistance for the inner groins to stretch, and the legs squeeze back so the inner groins strengthen. This should feel pretty good. Pull your shoulders from your ears, lengthen your neck, fully in. Stay for the exhale. Now, try to take the work out of your arms, press into your outer heels, use your own outer glutes to open the groins. Inhale, star pose, rise. Exhale, horse, pull in. Inhale up, parallel your feet, turn your big toes slightly in, bend your knees, inner thighs roll back, outer feet pull apart, hold your waist, breathe in. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forward. So you use the inner thigh roll and the outer foot pull, oscillate between the two, and it will help you to tilt the angle of the pelvis more forward so that the spine can be nice and long. Take your hands, grab outside edges of the feet, calves, thighs, or shins. Pull your shoulders back, the back of your heart. Feel length in the neck, lengthen the legs, strengthen the hips. Tee out the arms or hold your waist. Inhale, squeeze your legs towards each other to help assist the lift. Palms come together up above your head. Shorten the foot stance to about the width of the mat, 3 feet. Pivot and point forward. Right toes straight, left toes point forward and to the left. Now, push into your ball mounds and heels. Scissor your legs towards each other. This will help to turn the pelvis forward. Breathe in, pull up. Exhale, bend your right knee, tilt your pelvis. Keep your arms reaching forward. Then separate your hands to either side of your right foot. Press into your outer heels. Feel the outer glutes engage. Press into your big toes. Feel the inner groins engage. Squeeze your feet towards each other. Feel the hamstring of your front leg and the quadricep of your back. Breathe full to empty. Hands come together. Push into your right ball mount to assist the lift. Pull up with your fingertips. Exhale, hands come behind your back, palms together, interlace the fingers. Open your chest. Lift your back foot off of the mat. Exhale, toppling tree. Lock your body from heel to head. Lift your left leg up to forward tilt your pelvis. Let the hips roll open during the descent. As you get closer to parallel, roll the right hip back, close your left hip down. Push, stamp into that standing leg, breathe in. Exhale, release the hands down for a standing split. Immediately bend the left knee, squeeze heel to butt. Take your hands, walk them back if accessible towards your toes, or towards your right toes. Press your hands down and forward. Pull your right heel back. When the hamstring of the standing leg engages, straighten your standing knee. From here, circle your left knee around. Now, lift your left knee as high as you can. There's your glute. Start to straighten the leg. Feel how the glute fires. Breathe in. Exhale, step back. Inhale, down dog kick. Bend your knee, open your hip. Circle your right knee. Big, big circles. That should feel so nice to loosen up the inner groin and to activate the glute. Notice as you're circling the knee, is your left hip popping out to the left. Hug your left hip in as best as you can. So you're actually working both The right glute takes the movement. The left glute keeps you from spilling out. Right leg down. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step between your hands, low lunge. Pin your back heel down, firm into that right outer heel. Use it to pull your way up, warrior two. So as you get into your warrior two pose, again, oscillate between squeezing the feet towards each other and pulling the feet away from one another. It's that pull that engages outside leg. It's that squeeze in, inside legs. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle. Move your pelvis. Take the left arm to the outside of the left leg and push. Push the leg into the arm. Wrap the left buttock under. Turn your belly, ribs, and chest. Breathe. Inhale, reverse. Notice is that knee getting compromised. Even though you're thinking about moving the spine, right hand pushes the left hand. Can you stay connected to the feeling of the left glute? Press from the hips down into the heels. Elevate the spine, go back. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, star pose, toes out. Exhale, horse. This time it's all about the side to side. Let's eagle wrap right arm underneath the left arm, then take circles or sways side to side. As you sway, if you want to add a little bit more of a side lunge, you can. Just make sure your knees always pointing in line with your middle toes. Back to center, reverse the arms, left arm under. Maybe you go down and up, down and up. Add the side to sides. Come all the way to standing. Parallel your feet. Turn the big toes down slightly in. Pull your feet away from each other. Engage those outer glutes. Exhale, tilt your pelvis. Take your bow. As you bow the hips forward, grab what's accessible. Feet, calves, thighs, whatever you need. Pull the shoulders back. 3 breaths. Bring your mantra back to your practice. Full and flow. Tee out your arms. Straighten the legs by pushing into the outer heels, but squeeze your feet towards each other so the inner groins assist the lift to the upright. Palms together up above your head. Pivot to the left this time. So the left foot becomes the forward foot. Shorten the stance. Press into your outer heels. Lift up on the sides of the waist. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your left knee. Tilt your pelvis. Scissor the legs towards each other. Inner groins, outer glutes. Engage them both. Hands to the mat. With the hands pushed down and forward. With the heels firm down, feel the glutes. And with the legs, scissor in. Breathe. Palms come together in front of the left big toe. Push into the left ball mound to assist the lift. Exhale, release your hands behind your back. Palms go flat together, interlace. Lift your chest. Lift your right foot off of the mat. Stabilize the skin of the left foot on the ground. Lock your body from heel to head, then tilt. Tilt the pelvis so the leg and the spine move at the same rhythm and speed. Roll your left hip back to close your right hip down. And breathe. Full. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, standing split. Immediately bend your lifted knee. Squeeze heel to butt. Hands press down and forward. With your left heel, pull back. Straighten your standing leg. Now circle your lifted knee. As you circle the knee, feel the glute, feel the groins. And now lift that right knee as high as you can. Feel the right rear glute engage. Start to straighten your lifted leg. Fully in. Exhale, step back. Inhale, down dog kick. Bend your knee. Circle open your left hip. Finding those circles, watch your right hip. Does it react by kind of dumping to the right? You can see that in the rotation of your grounded foot. Notice if the toes turned in. Hug your right hip back. Kick back, breathe in. Exhale, down dog. 2 cycles of breath, you can stay and work the inner thighs and hips in down dog, or take a full chaturanga, high to low, up dog, down dog. Inhale forward, exhale lower slow. Inhale up dog, exhale down dog. Breath to movement, here we go. Feel this out. Can you go away from just the thoughts of engaging the hips and pull the feelings from it? Thoughts are compartmentalized. We can only do one at a time, but you can feel the entirety of the body. So the yogic practice is highly devoted into feeling, into connection, into opening and expanding our awareness. Notice the hips as we flow. Let's unify. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Inhale, right leg high, maybe bend the knee, open hip. Exhale, step through. Inhale, warrior two. Push into the heels. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, low lunge or high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or down dog kick. Exhale, downward facing dog, we all meet. Inhale, left leg high, maybe bend the knee, open hip. Exhale, between your hands, low lunge. Back heel down. Inhale, warrior two, push into the legs. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, high to low plank or low lunge. Inhale, down dog kick or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Fully in. Let it go. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale, travel forward. Half lift, full breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Take it up. Okay, exhale, hands to prayer. Center your awareness on the left foot. Now hold your weights. Lift up your right knee. As the right knee lifts, the hips will try to shift to the left. Can you hug that standing hip in and then rebalance the pressure into the left big toe? From here, level the hips. Point your toes, start to circle the right knee around. As you circle the leg, careful that this doesn't become the whole practice. So if you're circling the leg, but this left hip is getting unstable, that's what you're looking at. Not just the action you take, but the reaction. Because we are working the outer right glute. That's the movement. That's everything we see. But you're also working the outer left glute. That's the stability. It's going to oscillate the level of contraction necessary depending on how far out of balance the right leg is bringing your center. Breathe in. Exhale, hut style tree. If it feels appropriate, take the pinky blade of the right foot, slide it up into your left hip crease, point the toes, and kick the foot into your leg, drawing the right knee down. If there's any discomfort or pain in the knee, please go to vinyasa style tree or just continue to circle the right knee around. So for vinyasa style, foot against the inner thigh, level the hips, or you just keep circling. Breathe in. Exhale, right foot down. Other side, keep the hips level, lift up your left knee. Hug your right hip in, circle your left knee around. Feel the action of the left leg rotating and the conscious control of the reaction of the hips possibly spilling. It's just awareness. The more you start to observe how the body reacts, the more you can respond appropriately. Vinyasa style tree, keep circling or take the pinky blade of the left foot, slide it high into your right hip crease. Push the blade of the foot into your hip, pointing the left knee down. Any discomfort, pain in the knee or ankle, let it go. Make the changes that are loving, compassionate to the body. Now breathe, full. And empty. Left foot down. Inhale, mountain pose, take it up. Exhale, grab your pull-up bar, pull. Brace your core. Bend the knees a little, inhale, back bend. Roll your inner thighs back, press into your heels, play with the angle of the pelvis. Now lift your heart back. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, full breath. Exhale, crouch, round curl, all the way down onto your back. Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Soles of the feet together. Once you're down, let the knees go wide. Lightly take your fingertips behind the ears. Breathe in. Exhale, lift your shoulders, lift your chest. If you want a little extra, get the shoulder blades to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep going. Few rounds, your breath, your body. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Hug your knees in. Eagle wrap, right leg over the left leg. Right toes hook around the left heel. Eagle wrap, right arm underneath the left arm. If this ends up being too much on the lower back, fingertips back behind the earlobes is also fine. Breathe in. Lengthen your knees and elbows away from each other. Exhale, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your core. The legs firm so the inner groin's engaged. Lift those shoulder blades. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze and hold. Squeeze, elbows to knees, knees to elbows. And unwind. Immediately other side, left leg wraps, left arm under. Inhale, elbows go away from knees. Exhale, lift. Shoulders, maybe shoulder blades, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Breathe, full. Exhale, flow. Full. Exhale, flow. Inhale. Exhale, hold, squeeze, elbows to knees. Feel the fire in the belly. 3, 2, and 1. Unwind. Whew. Pull your knees out wide towards the armpits. Circle the knees, independent from the hands, and in 2 opposite circles with each other. Okay, grab behind your thighs. Rock all the way up into Malasana Frog Squat. If you want to go through down dog, you can, or a forward fold, you can. For your Malasana Frog Squat, 2 options. Please make sure the pelvis, if you sit too low, you'll see the whole spine rounds. Sit tall enough that you can move those thighs back and find the length in the low back. 1, you can stay here, pushing the elbows into the thighs, squeezing thighs back to elbows to engage the stretch of the inner groin and to engage the strength. Just make sure the knees are in line with the middle toes. 4, flying frog, hands come down to the mat. Separate the hands shoulder distance, turn your hands slightly open so the index fingers are at least parallel. They can even be slightly turned out, that might help. Squeeze your hands towards each other, firm your inner thighs up against your upper arms. Knees come as close to the shoulders as you can manage. As you squeeze the hands towards each other and you firm the thighs into your arms, bend your elbows, tilt forward. It doesn't take a lot of strength to get deep or to get the feet off the mat. What it does take is the understanding of the alignment. Elbows in by squeezing the hands towards each other, shoulders back, keep your neck long. From here, try to take your thighs and move them off of the pressure of the arms. There's your outer glutes. Breathe in. Exhale, walk it out, downward facing dog. Pedal your legs, sway your hips. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon pose. So a little variation today. You're welcome to do upright or sleeping pigeon if you need. Otherwise, roll off to your right hip. Slide your right shin forward so that the right shin is parallel to the front of the mat. So there should be no pressure, no stretch in the hip just yet. You lean as far off to the side. If you need to use the elbows, you can. Now, before we upright the spine, flex your right toes against the shin. That's going to turn on the shin and quad, protecting the ankle and specifically the knee. Now press the whole right shin into the ground. To the degree you can keep the foot flexed back, slowly start to come to the upright position. Keep pushing the whole shin to foot into the ground. That engages the stretch. The closer you get to upright, the more you're going to feel this in the outer hip. Remember, half the practice is the action you take. The other half is noticing the reaction you didn't intend. So if the ankle slid back, if the foot twisted or something doesn't feel right, that's a big part of the practice that gets overlooked. Press through the right shin, energetically pull your right leg to the right. Feel that right outer glute engaging its stretch. Breathe. Lean forward, downward facing dog. Other side, left leg up. Exhale, half pigeon pose. Lean to the left. Bring the left shin parallel to the front of the mat. Flex the left toes, heavy back. Once the foot's flexed back and the shin's parallel, you should see 90 degrees in the ankle, 90 degrees in the knee. Push down, pinky side through the left shin, through the left thigh. As that presses down, it engages the outer hip. You slowly start to make your way to the upright position. As you get closer to upright, pay attention. It's not about where you end up in the aesthetic or the shape. It's about how the shape changes and how the experience changes. What's the connection? What do you feel? If you have to disengage the pressure of your leg into the mat to go deeper, then you're starting to take off the safety measures. You might create more flexibility than you have strength, creating imbalances, possibly leading to injury. So make it less about the shapes, more about the experience. Push down through the left shin, energetically pull left, and feel that outer hip. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot steps back. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Zip your legs together, tops of the feet kick down into the ground. Take your hands down by your sides, palms push down into the mat. Inhale, Shalabhasana, locust. Lift the back of the head, lift the back of the heart, roll your shoulders open. Lift your hands, lift your legs. Point through your toes, deep breath in. Exhale, gently release down to the mat. Wiggle your hands underneath the center of your body, palms face down. Bring your forehead down or keep your chin forward. Just make sure there's no pressure in the back of the neck. We go for length first. Inhale, lift your right leg. Push right hip bone down into right forearm, then extend length through your right leg. Roll the inner right thigh up. Notice the space on the right side of the lower back. Release, other side. Left leg lifts, you go for length, and then roll the inner left thigh up. So the big toe goes high and the pinky toe goes low. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Seal your lips to the mat to protect the neck, or keep the chin forward, but pay attention to the back of the neck. You should be able to lift your head at any time to make sure there's no compression. Wiggle the arms closer. Grip your hands into the mat, lean into your shoulders and chest. Exhale, both legs lift. Press your hands down, lean your chest forward. Now utilize your buttocks to lift the legs. Utilize the low back as if you're trying to peel the pelvis right off of those forearms. Breathe in. Exhale, slowly release. Take your arms out from underneath. Turn to one side. Open and close your hands, make fists. Roll your wrists around. Open and close the hands. Pump blood through the wrists and forearms. Okay, center your chin. Hook your thumbs behind your back. We go right from this bound locust into floor bow. Take your time with this. Roll the shoulders and chest open. Lift the back of your head. Lift your legs. Breathe in. Exhale, lift the back of the heart, bend your knees, grab the outside edges of the feet. Hug the knees slightly in so the inner groins are on. Now, roll your shoulders forward against the kick. Start to add a little more kick through the legs. Brace your core and protect your spine. Breathe. Slowly release. Take your head down, look to one side, windshield wipe your legs or crisscross them. Circle the shins, circle the feet. And big toes come together on the mat, let the heels drop super wide. Turn your head to the other side, press the outer feet, outer shins down. Lightly pull your thighs away from each other. Wiggle the hips a little, that should feel so good into the lower back. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, rise up to standing on your knees. As you come to standing on your knees, separate your heels just wide enough that you could fit your hips. Point your toes back, hands to prayer. The transition in is very important, maybe more important than where you end up because it's what guides you there. Kick downward through your legs so the shins are turned on and the quads are turned on. Start to lower. Only sit as far as you can smoothly lift out of. If you have no issues sitting down on the mat, great. Keep the shins kicking down. Even though you're sitting, you're not at full rest. The quads are still engaged, helping to protect the knees. Hands to feet. Stay or lower your elbows to the mat. No matter where you go, keep kicking through the shins so the quads are on. That will let you lift the hips, move your tailbone under. Stay or come all the way down, back of the head, shoulders, and breathe. Two cycles, full to empty. Kick through the shins to lift the hips. Contract your glutes to move the tailbone under. Breathe, feel the low back. Hands to feet. Come up onto your elbows. Slowly onto your straight arms. Then walk it out, downward facing dog. Pedal through your legs. Lower your knees down to the mat. Sit on the tops of your heels. So feet together this one. Reach your arms up to the sky. Palms together, hook your thumbs, pull up. Can you move your fingertips, head, spine, and pelvis all as one unit? Breathe in. Exhale. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Lightly pull those thighs back. Use that to tilt the pelvis. Tilt your pelvis to maintain the length of your spine. As you get forward into the mat, push the pinky blades of your hands down. Energetically pull back. Move those shoulders slightly back. Then inch your head and neck forward. Breathe full. Let it go. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Come to standing on your knees. Separate the knees hip distance. Tuck your toes under. Get on the ball mounts. Kick into either the tops of the feet. If this is tight on the arches, untuck the toes is fine. But kick either into the ball mounts or the tops of the feet so the quads are on. Lightly hug your knees in, then hug your outer hips in. Press into your feet. Breathe in. Take your arms up. Exhale, pull down. Feel your back engage. Hands to the prayer, squeeze. Feel the chest engage. Move the shoulders back. Now start from the waist. Can you roll the inner thighs and contract the glutes? Inhale, camel pose. Use the thumbs. Touch your sternum. Lift your sternum into your thumbs. Lift your skull back. Make your breath go full to empty. Feel the stability of the pelvis, providing the foundation for the length of the spine giving you the depth of the pose. Inhale, rise. Exhale, have a seat. Knees together, tops of the feet down. Thumbs on the outside, grab your heels, tuck chin to chest. Exhale, bring your forehead to touch your knees. Super important that you don't have any weight on your forehead. Lift your hips, and the weight should be on the top of the head. Hold your heels tight, squeeze your arms into your legs, kick through the shins. Now, shrug your shoulders back. The head and neck should feel pretty light. Press the top of the head into the mat. Now the neck should feel strong and long. Breathe. Have a seat. Sweep your legs out in front of you. Janu Shirsasana, right leg off to the side, left foot up against the inner thigh. Bend your right knee. Take your arms, reach up, square to the right, breathe in. Exhale, tilt your pelvis, take your bow. Press down on the outside edge of the left shin. Firm your left buttock down. Turn your ribs a little to the right. As you firm the left foot and left hip down, can you bring space into that left side of the lower back? Prioritize the breath into the lower spine. We'll get the stretch into the legs later. but you can let that be your secondary goal in this pose. Slowly rise, switch your legs. Left leg out to the side, right foot comes in. Bend the left knee, turn your chest towards your left, lift your ribs up and over the left thigh. Now push heavy through the right shin, make the right hip drop, breathe into the right side of your lower back. Wiggle the rib cage as far away from the hips as you can feel. Then touch forehead outside the thigh or shin. Once you've got breath hitting the right side of the lower back, if you want to add the straightening of the left leg, go for it. If straightening your leg takes away from the breath hitting the low back, then maybe you let it go or try to wiggle around it. Prioritize the heavy hips and feel breath hitting the sides of the waist. Slowly rise. Extend both your legs straight out in front of you. Arms go to the sky. Then bend your knees, maybe 20-25% of the way. Wiggle your hips back. Pull up with your arms. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forward. Even here, roll the inner thighs down and drag your feet away from each other. Inner thighs roll down, drag the feet away from each other. That's going to engage the muscles around the pelvis to hold the pelvis. That little bit of oscillation between the outer hips and the inner groins can help you to tilt the pelvis forward. The bones and joints are inanimate. It is the muscles that create movement. The more you can work with the muscles inside, the more you can explore the over 200 muscles within the body, the more you'll start to feel the shapes change and evolve. Inhale, slowly rise. Scoot forward. Lower all the way down to your back. From your back, knees to armpits, happy baby pose. Anchor down your buttocks and your shoulders. Grab your feet. Rock side to side, massaging the tailbone down. Pull with your arms. Pull with your spine. And breathe. Hug your knees into your chest. Right knee holds in, left leg goes long. Traditional supine twist or wrap twist will give you that last little stretch into the outer glutes. Wrap the right thigh over the left thigh. Use your left foot to lift the hips, and then let the knees fall to the left. Wiggle your hips around. Stabilize the shoulder blades down. Look to your right and breathe. Other side, left knee wraps around the right knee, or right leg goes long for traditional supine twist. Lift your hips, then stack your left hip on top of your right. Turn your head to the left, wiggle the hips around, breathe into the sides of the lower back. Come back to center. Unwind the legs. Hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Squeeze your forehead into your knees. Full body breath in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, final. Shavasana. Take a moment. Let your body release into the mat. Move your hips around. Ground the hips. Try to wiggle the spine back. And then relaxing your arms, play with the rotation. Roll your inner thighs until the toes turn in. Roll your inner thighs until the toes turn out. As you find the rotations in the legs, just start to notice the way the inner groins and the outer hips kind of dance through the engagements. Then slowly, gently relax the legs. Relax your whole body into Shavasana. Full breath in. Empty the breath out. Fully in. Feel the weight of your hips. Relax the hips, let them melt into the ground. Empty the breath out. Take a moment to just simply let go. In the Yoga Sutras, which is one of the original texts which most of modern yoga is based upon, when it comes to meditation or concentration, it says to meditate on light, to meditate on God, to meditate on Om, to meditate on the sun, or to meditate on anything that brings lightness to your mind. So today, if you want to lay down or come to an upright position for meditation, do so. Let's meditate on the sound Om and on the sun. Take your awareness to the space between the eyebrows, the third eye center. Imagine a marble of pure light, as if you have your own personal sun that emanates in the third eye center. Yoga uses the senses that normally draw us outside ourselves. When we're free to move around the world, we tend to go everywhere, chasing the greatest foods, seeing the greatest sights, hearing the greatest sounds, not realizing the greatest experiences don't come from the outside. No matter where you go, you are always exactly where you are, and every experience is coming to you. Recognizing this connection, that the source of all experience is exactly where we are in every moment. Coming to a place of stillness is a moment to simply understand and explore that you don't have to be anywhere to be happy. You can be happy everywhere. It doesn't take a trip around the world to a remote beach or wherever your pleasures might take you in order to feel light and joy. It doesn't come at the weekend, at lunch, or with your loved ones. It can be in any moment and in every moment if all you do is look inside. So for a few moments, either observe your natural breath or control your breath. As you breathe, silently chant Om. Extend it, long Om, so the ears, rather than reaching out, start to hear within. In the eyes, visualize the light of the sun in the third eye. See the light emanating in all directions. See yourself less as a physical body, more as a body of light. And in the body, relax. Relax. Don't assume you are relaxed. Keep it in the present time exploration. Keep scanning. Keep softening. As if every contracted muscle is a bit of rope that ties and binds the light within. And as you relax, the ropes just start to fall back to the earth, that you can experience the beautiful light that exists inside. With the body relaxed, let your ears hear Om. Let your eyes see light. So I challenge you as you leave your practice behind, if you have moments in your day where you can find yourself waiting for the next thing, anticipating what's to come, putting joy at the end of a journey rather than the space and the place where you are right now. Take a moment. Relax your physical body, unwind some of the ropes that bind the light. In your eyes, see the light within yourself. In your ears, hear the resonant sound of Om, and in your body, soften. I promise if you give yourself just a few moments, if you're standing in line waiting to get something, if you're waiting for somebody, any time where your mind is sitting there idling, try this practice. It'll help to clear and center your state of being. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope your practice guides you into a space of clarity, of joy, and of love. Please share your energy with the world. From my heart and from Sachi, namaste. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. My name's Alex Artemiak, and this is Sachi. Please remember to take a moment. If you did like this video, subscribe, like, share, leave me a message in the comments below. Let me know what would you like to work on or what did you like about this video. And I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much.